Hello there, and welcome to episode 249 of the FlameFlash.net podcast. I was sitting here post the 4th of July weekend, just pondering if I should attempt another episode or not tonight. It's been absolutely fantastic weekend. Just going to throw that out there first. So, last time we recorded was on the 26th. And quite a bit's happened since then. So it felt appropriate to talk and check in, but at the same time, I wanted to game. So those watching the video, I'm just doing some standard personal upkeep in World of Warcraft right now and posting my auctions and going through that kind of thing, checking character mail, stuff that's easy to not get super distracted with, you know. But that kind of lends itself nice and easily to what have I been gaming in the last week and a couple of days. And World of Warcraft is definitely part of it. The Fire Festival happened. It's probably one of my favorite events in World of Warcraft. And I didn't participate in it as much as I probably would have liked, but I did get to participate in it. So that's a bonus. Mordecai's subscription has now run out in World of Warcraft. So we have entered a very interesting new era. It's not like he can't resubscribe when he expresses interest again, but his gaming interests have branched out heavily. Right now, his main game is Helldivers, for example. Cool. All well and good. Good for him. Managed democracy is definitely a present and current topic. Oh boy, is it ever. Otherwise, just today, here on July 5th, we did sneak in some repo. Um, Similarly, I believe we've done a little bit of Stardew Valley. That's been most of the gaming, or those three cornerstones right now. I did go ahead and succumb to the Steam Summer Sale and grabbed the Final Fantasy games that I didn't already have. They're super discounted. I've been sitting on it for a while, but they've only been discounted this much every single time I've looked at them. So I thought it was finally time. Just highlighting those notes off. Um, as far as other gaming is concerned, Sony decided to really step in it. So I don't know how many folks remember back in the day, Microsoft announced in E3, I believe it was, some kind of disc to digital thing. So it's it's hard to describe at this point, but we'll see what happens. Microsoft was it was a big kerfluffle back in the day. I probably even covered it on the podcast, but I just don't remember it at this point. They ticked the gamers off. That was the main piece, though. They ticked everyone off by saying, "Hey, we're going to go away from physical. We're going to move over to digital and start barring the ability for people to sell their games, to sell their physical copies of games once they're done with them." And Sony's response at that time was masterful because they just got up and said, "Here's how you share a game on a Sony platform." And it shows one dude handing another dude a disc. Thanks, man. So, what does Sony now do in this year, 2026? They announced they're going digital, pure digital. I would assume what's happening is that they are starting to look at the drawing boards and costs of PlayStation 7, 6 and 6, 7, um, and are going, where can we cut corners? Where can we back off? How are our sales on the digital only version of the PlayStation compared to our sales on the non-digital version of the PlayStation? And people probably were like, hey, yeah, the numbers say the digital's selling better, is better, popular, etc., without thinking about the fact that it's only that way because it's the cheapest. Checking out another character in World of Warcraft here for those doing the video. Just posted a bunch of stuff to the auction hall on characters and checked mail. And that's what I'm still doing is running around checking mail. But they went and decided in 2028 new games on PlayStation consoles aren't going to have discs anymore. Guys, I get that it's 2028. I get that we're probably at least 5 years since Microsoft shot themselves in the foot with that. But y'all are being dumb. Just seriously. Why in the world would you think it's okay to go and do that? Like, nobody liked it when Microsoft tried. Nobody is liking the um, Nintendo key card system. The only games for the Nintendo Switch 2 that I have purchased since getting it all don't use key card. Now, Indiana Jones, oops, yay, cameras. Indiana Jones was an amazing gift from son-in-law. I'm looking forward to playing that soon. It arrived fairly recently. Star Fox, no key card. Marvel Cosmic Invasion, no key card. No key cards on any of these. They're just the red cartridge, and you can play them forever. That's the benefit of physical. I can go to my drawer here of NES games and pull out a cartridge, find a working console, and play it. Yes, this is the special combo cartridge for those watching of Super Mario Brothers, Duck Hunt, and World Class Track Meet. I purposefully got that. I did not get that originally. Originally, I had the Mario Duck Hunt combo, and I purposefully consolidated using Funko Land back in the day. But that's the thing. I own these things. They are mine. Sony can't come in and say, "Oh, sorry, the license expired. The licensing deal is gone. We no longer authorize you to play this game," or, "Hey, look, you've violated our terms of service somehow by talking to us in a rude tone of voice on Twitter, and now we're going to ban your account on so you can't have access to anything you've previously purchased." I don't think so. It's right here. It's all right here. Physical is king. Sony just announced that the PlayStation Vita's store is shutting down. Oh, look. I have Persona 4 Golden. Oh, that's Assassin's Creed. Persona 4 must be in the game. Or in the Vita itself. I have it. I own it. I can throw it in. It doesn't matter if the PlayStation Network is still live or not. I can reach over here where my Vita still rests, still is charged, stays charged. I don't want a spicy pillow. It's the white collector's edition. And it's good to go. So screw you, Sony. No. I, as a gamer, if you continue to choose this path, if you continue to go down this dark path, it is a dark path that I will not follow. And in so doing, like I was talking about last week, I'll get a Steam machine. Valve and Steam have a proven track record of not pulling licenses. Yes, some games have since fallen off of the Steam store, but guess what? I can still download it. So let's take, for example, Sonic Generations. I own the original Sonic Generations, not the Sonic Generations X Shadow. It doesn't matter. I still own it. I can still play it. I still did play it. And then I subsequently deleted it from my Steam Deck because it kind of stunk. Cool concept. I get what they were trying to do, but I decided it just wasn't for me and moved on. Oh, the Dark Moon Fair is going on. Well, this character will wait here, and I'm going to go to the Dark Moon Fair. But I'm trying to knock out tasks for the Trader's Tender, if you're wondering what the crap I'm doing in World of Warcraft on the video. But the point is, choice matters. Freedom of choice matters. This is the weekend of self-determination, of the United States saying, we are going to come together. We are one nation, not under God, that was added later, with liberty and justice for all. We have been around for 250 years now. Hear us roar. Do the roar. And here we are. freedom of choice is important. It's one of those things that it's why it's so stupid that the and hypocritical that the Republican Party goes, "Oh yeah, we want you to have freedom of choice as long as it's our choices." No, guys. As long as my choices are not hurting others, they're my choices. And they should be respected as such. But that's kind of the general premise of the Republican Party these days is that they don't think we can make our own choices. They don't think we'll make good choices and therefore are forced to do other things. Going digital only is purely a cost-cutting hardware measure on Sony's side, and the backlash has been swift and brutal. Brands such as Domino's, KFC, it's really funny. It's like, oh, we're going to go all digital too, and people are going to bask in their the images of our food instead of the food itself. It's like, guys, what the crap? That's just insulting. It's a joke. I get that. But it goes to that deeper issue of they are insulting us with that decision. Plain and simple. Pretty sure that's all I need for an engineering character. I'm off to the Dark Moon Fair. But it's just mind-boggling. Sony's shooting themselves in the foot. It's a bad idea. It's bad form. The entire reason I got a PlayStation 5 was because it was backwards compatible with the PlayStation 4. My PlayStation 4 was starting to die, and I'm like, okay, I can either repair it, get it repaired, or I can go ahead and invest here in this 5 and get more games. Now, my patterns and habits have definitely changed since I got the 5. So that's kind of funny. I just I don't have the time to game as much as I used to. So be it. That's on me. That's on my priorities. But they're my priorities. So it's my freedom whether I use this device as primarily a smart TV alternative or as a gaming device. And I choose to use it as generally a smart TV device these days. That's me. The kids use it for gaming quite a bit, but the kids are also following suit and going, oh, you know what? The Switch and a PC kind of do all I need. Oh, Mario Party, because Mario Party is another one we played recently, even today. Um, Played a little bit with my partner Helcat as well. So it's just a good game. It's just a good platform. And oh look, it's physical. We have a physical copy. I'm just going to shake my head in that general direction. Um, let's pop over to real quick a new technology trend that caught my eye. Um, and the brand name definitely caught my eye. It's called the Commodore Callback. Anybody remember Commodore 64 back in the day? Commodore Amiga? Anybody? Anybody? Oh, that's right. I'm in my 40s. I forgot about that. So, if you're not from my particular generation, you're probably not going to remember the Commodore 64 or the Commodore Amiga. These were the gaming computers of the day, which is saying something, like how old I am. But I have very fond memories of playing that original Mario Brothers arcade game on a Commodore 64, people, not on an NES originally. Now, I am thankful I have it where I have it because, well, a certain somebody who promised to hang on to my childhood things and give me a heads up did not do so and got rid of it all out from underneath me. But I'm not bitter about that still, whatsoever. Not at all. Nope, not at all. Anyway, they're getting into the cell phone business. They're using a modified Android OS that strips out the Google stuff and gives us just the basics, just a phone operating system. The other thing they choose to do is remove, um, and is absolutely fascinating, is remove the social media platforms. So think about that for a second. You can't get social media on this device. It's a flip phone. It uses the obnoxious typing of old school, hit A multiple times or one multiple times for A, B, and C, that kind of thing. But it's going to remove things like Facebook, like Twitter, like Instagram, like email. So you really only can use the phone as a phone, as a texting device. You can still text with it. They didn't remove that. And as like a media player, music device, you can play Spotify, you can play other stuff like that, but you can't get on Facebook. And it's called the Commodore Callback, which is just a great name for something like that. It really is. I love it. So there you have it, the Commodore Callback. I mean, yes, please. It's really cool. It looks like fun. Congratulations, Commodore, on being back. I miss my 5 1/4 inch floppies, but so be it. The internet provides. That's one of those things where having the physical media is important for archival purposes too. If you don't have the archive of what has come before, you're in for a world of hurt. You're not going to learn from what has come before. You have to listen to your elders and hear what came before. And eh, sometimes that's overrated, and I get that. So the Commodore 64 is back with the callback, at least a little bit. I want to move on to fun stuff in a moment, and we're going kind of long, impressively enough. But this is episode 249. Stuff did happen this week. The failure of the 250th celebration. I think I talked about it a little bit earlier, just how terrible of a performance the mall happens to be. It's awful. It's embarrassing. Claims that it is huge or full are wrong. Just just plain lies. It's sad, frankly, but we're not proud to be an American right now because we know we are not free. And that's the crux of it, plain and simple. So I think I'll leave it at that. Honestly, we're we're at a crossroads for our country, and now we're just in wait and see mode. And hopefully, when the dust settles, we're all better for the pain and suffering that we've gone through with Trump and with those that support him. And case in point, the US Supreme Court. They were all over the map. So you have the transgender athlete question come up, and there the court ruled that states may maintain women's and girls' sports exclusively to biological females, and that such bans do not violate the Equal Protection Clause of Title IX. Except, who's deciding biological in this sense? Are you going to start with overly Epstein-9 leanings, checking children's underwear? Because that's a whole new level of ick that is unfathomable. It's just not okay whatsoever, and frankly is disgusting. These are children. They just want to compete in sports. These are such a small subset of athletics, it doesn't make any logical sense why we're even wasting time on it, to me. But we're wasting time on it. The Native Americans celebrated being of two spirit, of not being gender conforming. Before English was a spoken language on this continent, transgender individuals existed. So any claim that transgenderness somehow is new is a lie. Just just putting that out there. Um, the Supreme Court continues to carve out this weird, unique um, edge case for the Federal Reserve. So in Trump v. Cook, they deemed that we don't have to, he doesn't get to just dismiss Commissioner Cook. Okay. They punted it back to a lower court, I believe, on that one. All right, fine. We'll see how that actually shapes up, I guess. But, and then mail-in ballots. States or they upheld a law that said that Mississippi could count mail-in ballots if they were postmarked by election day and received up to 5 business days afterwards. So that way, those that didn't get their did get their ballot in on time, but wasn't delivered by the U.S. Postal Service for whatever reason, still get it in. Because the assumption is that the U.S. Postal Service is going to deliver everything. They're supposed to. Whether they successfully do or not, yeah, that's questionable in this day and age right now, unfortunately, with everything else going on and that um, executive order. But we'll see what happens. Unless the Save Act goes through, though, mail-in ballots are still valid, and that's like the end all be all there. Birthright citizenship survived barely, which is also preposterous and crazy that it was even a question. Like this is one of those things that should have been laughed out of court. It's like, dude, you're in the wrong. We don't need to be discussing it whatsoever. Wow, I got unlucky on that one. Usually that team beats this guy. RNG was not on my side, but I bet something got buffed or changed in recent game changes. Anyway, Birthright citizenship is still a thing, as it has been and always should be. I want to get closer to closing by mentioning how enjoyable Supergirl was. Let's completely shift gears and just talk about how good the Supergirl movie was. I really enjoyed it. It is worth your time. It is worth seeing. Anybody who is complaining about it, well, they are complaining about it problematically. Let's just say that. Hellcat and I went and saw it. She hadn't seen Superman, the new DC Universe Superman. So she was coming at it with completely fresh eyes in comparison. And that's kind of neat to think about. So we both enjoyed it from different levels of experience. Keep that in mind. So that's pretty cool. And I want to close with hope because this is running long. I want to close with hope. Daredevil couple reached the top of the Empire State Building and then proposed. They put up a flag that says, "When the power of love beats the love of power, the world knows peace." My understanding is that this is a Jimi Hendrix song. And did World of Warcraft crash out? That's weird. But it's a good message. It's a strong message. And I want to close with that message. When the power of love beats the love of power, the world knows peace. This couple then got arrested for trespassing, but they did what they did out of enjoyment of what they do, of their hobby, their passion. And the flag has turned into a massive meme, which I am greatly appreciating. It is as it should be. Oh, it's no longer locked up. There we go. But I am Flame Flash, and this was episode 249 of the FlameFlash.net podcast. So please, my friends, remember, for all our sakes, that freedom and autonomy are the rights of all sentient beings. Please remember that. My words here are my own, and I leave you with that. Feel free to leave comments in the various places that you find this posted. and we'll see you for episode 250. Might be a delay in recording that one because I'm going to herd some people around and try to get more people available and in, but we'll be here. We'll be back. I have some plans for 250, for our 250. Certainly hasn't been 250 years, even though for some of the things it feels like it. You know what? I didn't mention how, even though I lightly mentioned how good the weekend was, I didn't mention specifically why it was so good. And Helcat was able to join us for our 4th of July celebrations. The family was together, new and old. And that's what this all boils down to, and what those of us who are fighting for our families, our sanity, our safety. Because there are forces and people who want to see us fall, who want to see us fail. And with Hellcat at my side, with my children at my side, with my family at my side, feel just a little bit stronger. And you, my friends out there, are part of that extended family. We are in this together. You are not alone. And while some aspects of what's going on appear exceptionally bleak, there are those out there like myself, like Hellcat, and like the rest of the Flame Flash clan that believe speaking out is what will help make it better. So please keep that in mind as we move forward. You're not alone. This was episode 249 of the FlameFlash.net podcast, July 4th edition. Recorded on July 5th, bleeding into July 6th. Stay safe, and good night.